How will Blacklist play around? Ladies and gentlemen, let's go into game number 3. Audio in at the stadium, throwing over to our Bahasa counterparts. For y'all watching at home, welcome. This is game number 3. Rrq HOSHI versus Blacklist International. It's a mirror start, purple for purple.
Purple for purple. I mean, that's why it's important. Of course, in the early game, the cooldown will just make a big difference. For Albert in particular, though, on the Fanny, right? This is one of the main buffs, so he needs to make sure that he can get it without any interruption.
I think something very interesting throughout this whole series as far, right? Oh My Goodness has focused a lot of focus on HOSHI instead of OHEP. OHEP, I think he should be able to handle the Lunox earlier in terms of the level, but because the Lunox is being brought into the gold lane, that's not 4 minutes problem, it's a 3-minute problem. So the heal coming out from Skylar's first skill will be a little bit skewed towards, but it's a lot of damage. 3 members already at the bottom side. Vin get terrified a little bit. No biggie for Rrq for now.
Yeah, no, this is very similar to game 2. Again, how Blacks International put the pedal to the metal early on and spent battle spells as they should to better time that first turtle take. We're about a minute away, 50 seconds before that happens. And I have eyes on Albert because this is a huge presence they have in bottom lane.
Yeah, I feel like right here, the first 2 games, they're focused a lot on the mid lane, but now Oh My Goodness using the flicker for now. Albert actually stunned Albert. Albert does have the ultimate this time around activated, but no kills for now. Blacklist International will side for relief.
They're trying to actually collapse on this bottom side, but of course the turtle is on the top side, so Albert goes in aggressively. He is all alone though. This might be a mistake.
A missed cable, but Albert managed to get out just nice. A lot of focus happening at the bottom lane. Skylar will be the one that we had focus on. Skylar burn off the flicker right off the bat for now. Blacklist 3 members at the bottom lane, but Fanny is slowly working towards the turtle pit.
Yep, that's key battle spells spent at least maybe seconds before this turtle, and it looks like they come to a gentleman's agreement. All right, we get purple first, both of us, and then we try to contest.
I mean, Skylar on this Lunox, right? This is what makes it a deceptively good pick. There's good sustain, good outplay potential. He's going 1v1 against OHEP right here. Ooh.
I can see the beauty of this right now. Skylar going in. Oh, will not be able to miss a shot. Skylar will not be taking down his counterpart just yet.
Oh, Vin at about half health here at level 4 already. Oh My Venus not hitting that quite yet because the Queen has been left to, again, babysit so much of mid and bottom. And with that being said, top lane!
Top lane spins to win, but Edward will be the one that wins it away. So a little bit of a Mexican standoff. A very slow early game, if you ask me, ladies and gents.
It's a tough situation for Rrq because compared to game number 1, they don't really have a lot of targets that they can just burst down, like we saw to get Albert snowballing. Edward is just tanky, he can run away. HOSHI is relatively mobile as well, and right now they're going for the turtle play.
Real woman ability to go in, the eliminate charges. It's going to be the Rrq hits down. This 2 crazy real world manipulations putting out the damage, but it's going to be Edward that picks up the first blood for now.
Oh, Edward forcing Clay to flicker underneath that turret. Crystal Boy keeping him where he is, but all this time, it's Blacklist who has their eyes on the bigger picture. A clear lead already, 3 minutes in, 1,000 gold. Arashi, what are they doing with that gold?
Clay is building towards mana regeneration. He definitely wants to be able to clear his waves, and Albert just comes in with some swag. Won't be enough right here, and as you can see, Skylar with the mana boots as well. He just must try and sustain in the lane, play it safe, try and avoid the ganks and possible. And on the other side, Blacklist, you can see, starts itemizing for physical defense. Again, trying to counter, ensuring that Albert does not get to snowball, because that is a big factor for Rrq's victory.
Something interesting right here. Oh, that's a wall charge already used, right? On top of Edward, but Edward just walks away, scoff it off like a boss. But hold on a second, real woman, division coming down. Limit number charges. Albert will be able to pick up the bubble for now. HOSHI will respond to the same. Vin coming in, just bouncing around. Alzheimer's revenge going in. It's a choke point, and the son of the map Rrq. And right now, Blacklist International picks up the double kill at the same time. Albert trying to spin the win, but we'll be able to take out the Queen for now. It's gonna be the Roma traded for 2 members, but Wise is not putting out just yet. Edward picks out R7.
What's impressive is the fact that HOSHI did not die. I could have sworn his Valentina was gonna bite it, but again, that's just what happens when you're the KDA machine. This young man has been playing jungle for a while. His career started that way, and that's what explains his mechanics. Speaking of mechanics, Albert looking for one up top.
Not enough damage, I don't think so. Edward may have goes in the split just right in time. Albert will be getting out. Lumina Blast, no! Skylar has to burn the flicker and an ultimate just to get out of there.
Arashi, second turtle, spawning in about 5 seconds. Who has the advantage?
I think Blacklist definitely has an advantage right now. 3K does not seem like much, but it does make a difference. And they have the pressure because we've seen that they are the ones being more successful in these big fights. They're the ones that have the beefier members that has been able to survive most of the damage. And Rrq, they have to be careful because Clay and Albert has been the main target.
Albert's in the vicinity as well. Wise will be the one that wins the retribution method for now. It's going to be HOSHI letting down the fire. Would not be able to stun Rrq for now. Blacklist International to pick up their prize and to walk away.
It's a bit curious right here because usually when we see Clay play the Eve against a Valentina, he is very careful in letting that Valentina steal the real manipulation. In this game though, HOSHI has been very active using that to spell demise for Rrq. It's just quite the interesting situation. I wonder what exactly is causing this. But as we look at the items right here, OHAB already has the Demon Hunter sword, so the frontliners, Vin as well as R7, are going to be a bit squishier in his eyes. So that is something that we have to be careful about.
Play will not be able to activate the real one manipulation in time. That's another kill. Given over the time of Blacklist, but Albert trying to spin. Will not be able to find a kill. Unfortunate for Rrq.
That was ults and a chicken sandwich thrown in there to take down one.
Oh.
But it's not done!
It's not going to be enough. It's going to be HOSHI. Will not be able to push spin right into the wall. Blacklist International walks away alive.
That's a tough situation, man. We said Rrq has no targets on the side of Blacklist International, but the opposite is not true at all. If Clay gets hit by any kind of crowd control, the follow-up is more than enough to ensure that he gets taken out. So he is a sitting duck for the members of Blacklist International.
You know who's a sitting duck? Oh my penis.
Woo.
Concealed right out of there. Albert, just not enough damage.
You mean invisible duck? Conceal play, saving the queen there. And again, it just shows that Rrq HOSHI, at this point in the game, mid-game, 6 minutes, 7 minutes approaching, they need to shrink this 4K gold lead. And they're doing their best, right? They're finding things on the map, and it's come to the point where Wise can steal buffs away from Albert. This is a difficult place to be for the baby alien.
I think right now, just Rrq unable to use Albert to find a pickoff. Another thing that we also need to take note of is Skylar 000, right? Going into the clock item as the first item, he needs more time to get more damage to rack out. But once he gets that threshold, you expect Wise to get chunked down very quickly.
Later on, though, it's going to be a moment where the Lunas will do a lot of damage. Look at the glass!
Go all the way in. It's going to be R7 wall charge. The Blazing doing going over the back line. It's going to be HOSHI rewarding the same. The turtle is actually forgotten by both these two teams. But Albert is actually the one that falls. Skylar following suit. Wise will also pick up Skylar as for free. And they will go ahead and try to crack the mid lane open and then rotate over to the turtle.
That choke point became their demise. Rrq HOSHI giving 3 members away for free, the Blacklist. That load lead just astronomical at this point. 8 minutes in, about 7K. This last turtle going for free to Wise, and the map is red.
It's just such a... It's so sad for Rrq. They tried to make the play happen, but they get comboed instead. I was about to say that later on, there will be an extra factor in Skylar being a big problem for Blacklist. But before that can even happen, Blacklist seems to be trying to end the game early. Make sure that the gold lead is just too big.
I saw that, right? You saw that, right? It's so weird. Albert was trying to invade, take the purple buff. Don't forget, a Fanny without a purple buff is basically playing the game with half your hand. Albert is doing exactly that.
Well, where did the purple buff go is my question. Now it's Wise's turn to do the same. And this time he gets it. No orange for you, sir. Not today. Let's look at the items here. About 9 minutes in. What's going on here, Arashi? Can we expect Skylar to come online soon?
Well, on the other side, OHAB already has the golden staff, so things looking more difficult for him. And Skylar is still so far away from his power spikes. It's going to take a bit longer, man.
Domino Blast across the wall for now. There's the flicker going in. We'll be able to catch Vin at the same time. Real Woman manipulation coming up for Clay. Providing some support as well. R7 will not be able to find anything at all. Actually, will be the one first fall. But Skylar, here comes the blazing doing coming up. We'll be able to pick up R7 in the back line. But unfortunately, Skylar will be able to return that tray. 2 damage dealers for just a Rrq and also the Kufra.
A relatively messy team fight. They engaged with Valentina, HOSHI getting the wild charge, and was taken down even before it made a difference. So with that being said, where does Rrq HOSHI go this time around, Arashi? What does Albert do?
Albert needs to just be a nuisance right here. There's no real easy target he can just one-shot. So if he just splits the map around, making sure that the members of Blacklist are constantly worried about him moving in out of nowhere, he can allow the rest of the team to just do damage, because we saw that Skylar, despite only having a Clock of Destiny, is beginning to do a lot more damage. Personally,
I feel like, guys, I feel like Albert has been going out without a purple buff, but hold on a second, he may actually be able to do something for now. Skylar will be able to shred all my business in the backline at the same time. Skylar almost close to take down HOSHI though. But back to my point, I think Albert has gone 3 minutes without a purple buff. And look what Blacklist is doing.
They're just starving him.
Yeah.
That's key. And again, if his goal is to split up the map and maybe pick up a purple along the way, then that's just gravy on top, right? And they're not out of the woods just yet. There's a small win here that they're looking at, a possible push up top.
I think, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta take a look back at this game. If you notice Blacklist International, they did not clear the purple buff. If you notice, the purple buff is there, but it's only that small little dude, right? Right now, what Blacklist International is doing is basically starving out. There's only one purple on the map.
Oh, and then turned it into a bait?
Yeah.
Because look, they're engaging.
Look, they're engaging for now. It's going to be Albert this time around, unable to secure the purple buff for now. It's going to be Min that actually falls to engage him coming up from Rrq. Skylar is trying to be doing some damage by the backline, but will not be able to find it. R7 going in. The blazing duet coming in the backline. The aluminum blast charges will not be able to connect on top of Skylar for now. Albert coming in with sweep. HOSHI will be the first fall coming up from Blacklist alongside with HOSHI.
2 for 2, and just like that, key members going down, Vin and R7, while Blacks International, I wonder who made this call. I'm pretty sure it's the Queen. They go straight for the Lord.
Straight for the Lord. Albert is trying to make a play happen here. He is alone. He's actually 3v3.
He does have the retribution, ladies and gents. It's all about the retribution. Albert will not be able to do so. He will lose it live to the Queen.
Instantaneous punish. Arashi, what's Rrq HOSHI to do?
They have to play more conservative, man. I think that when they try and counter-engage with the wild charge, they're finding a lot more success, but Blacklist is not letting them breathe at all. Right now, Rrq are trying their best to clear the waves, and if you look at Skylar, the damage is starting to build up. He has a Divine Glaive, and if you look at R7, he has a Blade of Despair as well. So the damage is available, it just needs to land on the right person. But of course, Oheb already has the Athena shield as well. Unwilling to ensure that he does not get shut down, get picked off by the members of Rrq.
Game 2 draft, again, it was so easy for Blacklist to defend. Again, just build physical defense. But now I'm liking the damage coverage. There's a good amount of magic, good amount of physical, especially from R7. I am afraid to walk into his grok in a dark alley at night. But now it looks like the choke is continuing. No purple for you, says Blacklist, as they go ahead and pressure all lanes. The map is turning red. The strength of the Fanny is being quelled. Usually you're so mobile, now you're stuck in your base.
Yeah.
I feel for the baby alien.
It feels bad, man. Albert had a wonderful game number 1 with the Fanny, and I think Blacklist International, that's just ingenious the way they starve out the map, right? Right now, if you notice, there's no 2 purple buff. There's only 1 purple buff in this whole land of Dawn, and this is insane strategy coming out from Blacklist.
What's really difficult for Rrq right now is also the fact that Clay is very, very behind. He finally now builds the glowing wand, so this will be a big factor. Multiple instances of damage will be buffed by that item, so in these fights, if it draws on for long enough, there's going to be a lot of extra damage coming in from that Eve, and also a lot of percentage HP damage coming in towards Edward, Wise, and Venus. So we'll have to see if that will be enough for Rrq to win the next team fight. I think they have to play it a lot slower for just a bit longer, man. They need items to ensure that they have even a chance of making a comeback.
Yeah, about a minute before the Lord spawns, so that should be a good indicator. Should be a nice way to say, you know what, we'll wait for that Lord, and then we'll make a play. Looking at the players' gold here, Skylar, at least the gold is going to the right people for Rrq HOSHI, right? It's going to their gold laner, and I'm still waiting. We saw a little bit of that taste. And Jay's, you're right, man. Oh, Bert comes here, like, oh no, that's miserable. They left the tiny one for me.
Yeah, and the worst part is it's going to be Wise already at the purple buff. Basically, Blacklist reading Rrq's movement like an open book. There's nowhere that Albert will be able to do anything. Once again, Wise denied the purple buff away from Rrq.
I mean, Blacklist are moving so well, and Rrq are trying to get a pick-off, but when you have a Kufa as your main engage tool, it's very one-dimensional. As long as the front line does not leave any gaps for the Kufa to dash into, the backline, Oheb, and HOSHI is relatively safe.
Oh, that's a shred coming off from Skylar. There's a lot of damage going in. Edward is desperately trying to survive, but here comes Oheb as well. He's laying down. The BMI doesn't even well, but HOSHI will be able to come in the first kill. HOSHI in will be able to delete HOSHI right over that. Oh my goodness, charges. It's going to be the pin stuck right in the bouncing ball, and now it's going to be Blacklist. They do have Oheb, and they'll push on the back, and R7 will fall. 3 members falling just for the cost of HOSHI.
The KDA machine takes 3 down along with him, and Blacks International is ripe for the pick. And they can do anything they want. Force an inhibitor, take Lord here, that is Luminous. Arashi, what's the best call?
They have to try and clear the wave as much as possible. I mean, Albert has already tried and done that, but in the bottom side, 3 members of Blacklist trying to make sure that they can do something.
Manipulation, Ohab is already half HP. He has to slow down Clay. That's only person that actually defends for now, but at the same time, Wise starts down the Lord.
It's a 1v1 that Wise has started.
Albert.
And it looks like he can. Albert! Oh!
Albert will not be able to connect. The split. Unfortunate passive is not full enough for Edward to jump on top, but it's already Wise, already on the job right here, putting down some damage on top of the Lord. It's going to be a free Lord over to Blacklist International.
So much pressure coming from Blacklist, and they waste no time at all. Getting the Lord, they go for the purple buff yet again. All the momentum be charged up.
Luminum Blast gets cancelled, but that is okay because HOSHI can also engage for Blacklist International. Finn catches Wise, but oh my god, Albert cannot do anything for now. Blacklist International will push up their advantage, but they have another Lord marching down bot.
Just as quickly as Albert cabled on through, he says, nope, never mind. That's 5 members of Blacklist I could be walking into. Looking at the items here, Blacks International, they're at the 52k threshold. Give them maybe 10 more, 15 more, they should start building into everything and they can juggle. Rrq HOSHI, I'm seeing some blanks for Skylar, even Clay. So again, they have to extend that limit wherein that magic damage is gonna hurt Arashi.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Lord charging in, Ohab has to be MI all the way out. The damage will be down for the side of Blacklist International. There's a free Lord marching in from the bottom side. Clay force the real one manipulation going all the way up. No damage, no follow-up coming up from Blacklist. They will take what they can, take down bottom lane.
They're able to get the bottom side turret, and now they're just playing it very, very patient. They understand that they don't have to do anything extraordinary. If they just play calm and calculated, they are set for success with a 12k gold lead right now. And as you mentioned, Leo, the magic damage is going to start to hurt, but if you look at Blacklist items, they are Radiant Armors and Athena shields all over the place. They are well prepared for those late game team fights.
So it's going to come down to utility, right? It's going to come down to what you got. Not, well, both. What you got and how you use it, right? It's about the engagement, and maybe that's where Vin is going to be more important. They forced out a flicker from Clay this early on.
I think the most important thing is how Blacklist has full control, and look at what they're doing right now. He's leaving a free, I don't know, gift behind for Albert. Albert's not going to do anything. He is now, unfortunately, it hurts to say this, guys, Albert is just a split push minion.
Yeah, no, because of the fact that there's 2 Lords for Blacklist so far in this 18-minute game, we're approaching that. The waves are just so much more powerful.
Albert, that's a very dangerous neighbor for Will. He has the cable all the way out. Blacklist International actually putting down some damage from the side, but Luminum Blast actually charge out. R7 using the wall charge again on the way. They don't want to engage Blacklist in this form.
And now Blacklist has uses a bunch of ultimates. The Lord fortunately is not up, but Rrq, they understand that they have an opportunity here, a small window where Venus does not have the Luminum Blast. They might just get emboldened by it. They might be looking for a chance to try and make something happen, but of course Blacklist already just waiting, setting up traps around the map for the members of Rrq.
What's this last item that Clay is building towards? Could that possibly be necklace or
Winter?
Winter
Truncheon?
I feel like you would just at this point require a lot more damage.
Yeah.
I think the Holy Crystal would make sense, but we'll just have to see, man. It all depends on how the game progresses. And now with the Lord up, Blacklist yet again is pushing the tempo, and Rrq might be forced to engage onto one of the tankier members of the front. That is not what they want.
Do they know this? There's 3 members of Blacklist up there. Is there vision on this? Because this rotation could be lethal. And I'm talking about both of them. This could have been a map absence from Blacklist, but no, they're looking for an answer. They're just making sure that they choke away the purple.
The lack of information is hurting, especially Rrq, but at the same time, Edward tries to really try to buy some time. Albert is the one that can stun out. He has a cable all the way out of there. Blacklist International, they're looking for the hunt. They're looking for the assassin from the side of Rrq. Nothing to be found right there. The Luminous Blast lands on top of the Kufra, but would that be enough though? Blacklist International, I think they could spend it too much, and Vin jumps all the way in. The real war manipulation, but that's a nice line! Ultimate coming up from Vin, hopefully to try to change the game around. Skylar will be able to take down OM, and Blacklist International may have overstayed their welcome. Edward desperately trying to do some damage to the R7, actually possessing for now. I think Blacklist International, they overstayed their welcome.
That was a 1-for-1 in the end, right? Gold laner for gold laner. And if you're 10k behind, 11k behind, I see that as a win. Rrq HOSHI, they walked into that fight with conviction, and they walked away with a small win.
Right now, Lord. 4v4 fight. Skylar, go both gold laners. There's no pushing power coming out. It's up to Bin to try to set this up.
Oh, Vin is trying to make the engage happen, but that's a lot of damage being traded on back to him. Look at Omar Vin is making the play work.
Luminous Blast going in. It's going to be the wall being built by the side of R7. And we're trying to be a nuisance right here, but he's dragging the Vin towards it. Wise is actually working on top of the Lord. But now Albert trying to spin. Hey, he has a damage. He takes down the Valentina. And now it's going to be Valentina. He's trying to desperately try to do some damage control. Oh, just respawn. He is trying to make a beeline, but here comes R7 wall charge. Looking 2 members out from the side of Blacklist. It's going to be a back-to-back fight at the Lord Pit.
It's a 4v5 right now, 20 minutes in. Every single death is painful. Every death timer will be upwards of a minute if you make the wrong mistake, right? So this is very dangerous. Rrq, HOSHI have found a window.
Vin charging it all the way up. Oh my goodness, there's nowhere to be there. Wise is actually going in to activate the window con already. It's going to be Albert trying to look for some pickup right there, but the wall is actually blocking OM. And it goes. The Clay coming in with the wall manipulation. Wise has to run away. OM and the back line with the blessing to win. Not good enough, but would be good enough to take down R7 for now. It's got a Stew in the midst right there. He does have the Chaos Assault, but he has to bomb the British at the same time. So my goodness, that's what we're trying to stun. Vin will try to push a scrappy forward for both teams.
2 for 1. I was just talking about death timers, and that's about 40 and 50 for Vin and R7. It's a 3v5 for the next 30 seconds.
It's 4 members of Blacklist against Rrq, who do not have a frontliner. That is a dangerous game they're playing right now. Unfortunately for Rrq, the waves are still pushing in their favor, so they have a bit of a window, but Blacklist will not stay silent for long. They're already trying to get control in the Lord Pit, and R7 still 15 minutes away from respawning. Blacklist might just force it, or they might just bait a fight for Rrq.
Fun fact, ladies and gents, Albert finally got his purple buff, right? Now he's actually playing the game. Blacklist, on the other hand, you know, they've got Wise coming back up. Rrq, they know they cannot accept this fight. They've got 2 members down. Clay Reward Manipulation is available, but I don't think they can do anything for now.
They send Albert home at half health. Charge up some energy.
Word flicker, Clay will get possessed. Oh no, Reward Manipulation go in. Albert is really trying to go in the save. Haji will be taking the Reward Manipulation away from the side of Clay. He will be responding, but the main prize right here is Wise. Focusing on the Lord instead. Haji will be able to take down Clay. Oh, that's great. Oh, the Lord. It's crazy games coming out from Rrq. But Blacklist International, they're not giving up. They will take the fight with the trigger going in. It's already gone. It's going to be the Luminous Blast energy. Members of Rrq, it's going to be Albert trying to defend. But Rrq, they took the Lord.
5v1. This is a dangerous place to be. They pop the immortality on Baby Alien, and they're going to ride this minion. It's just 1 minion.
It's just
enough?
2 minutes from Blacklist International. They take game number 3.
Match point, ladies and gentlemen. Match point for the world champions, and the King of Kings in home court are sweating the kingdom all over, sweating. Arashi, this is recovery. This is a streak broken. This is Blacklist.
This is Blacklist, and now Rrq with their backs against the wall. They need to find something that works, and they need to find it fast. Blacklist, they're just so calm and calculated. Even when Rrq are able to do the signature maneuvers and make the fight messy, Blacklist have figured out